Coming up on this week's edition of NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
Mhag Manufacturing is an industry leader in livestock handling equipment. We'll show you how their innovative products and hands-on design process helps producers achieve better productivity and cattle management.
And now, NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.
Hello and welcome to NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen. I'm Kevin Ochsner. For cattle producers, ensuring the safety and well-being of their livestock is always a top priority. One way to achieve this goal is by investing in high-quality cattle handling equipment. That's where Mhag Manufacturing comes in. Mhag designs, fabricates, and markets hydraulically operated livestock handling equipment with an emphasis on the safety and comfort of both the animal and the operator. The experts at Mhag will also work with a farmer or rancher every step of the way, from concept to installation, to ensure that the facilities meet the needs of the customer. Here's John Malhagen, founder of Mhag, with more.
Terry, you started with an existing building, correct?
Yeah.
So this was an existing facility,
Right.
that you with
3 pens, and now here we got 7, 8, 9 places we can store cattle if we have to in the same footage.
in the same footage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that really compressed everything for you, didn't
Yeah,
it?
it made it really nice. Well, the need was to handle the cattle so much smoother and quieter and with less help. And then we talked about what I wanted and what we should do and what we shouldn't do. Then Mark come in here with a piece of paper and a measuring stick, and the way we went. And this is what we come up with, and it works good, very good. Where before it was taking 5 people, we can do it with 3 now. Yeah, so that was a big accomplishment there. Plus, it's so much handy, it's so much quieter, and the cattle are so much more calmer. And so it isn't just all about help, it's about the livestock, the health of the livestock. And another thing is when you go down here and you'll see all them sorting gates, that was really a saver on the cattle, because sometimes we got to sort the cattle for size, and the sorting gates work wonderful. You can control them all right here at the chute, which pen they should go in. And before we had to have a guy standing down there, sometimes 2 guys, and opening and shutting gates and letting the cattle walk in. And it's more than just one thing we've done here. It's several things to improve it.
And to your employees, I bet your employees like the ease of not have to work as hard at moving, swinging gates.
Oh my God, yeah. Swinging the gate and safety, yeah.
Now that you have even there's shorter runways, you don't have as many people walking back and forth here. And I look at what you've designed here, or what we put in here, and I just see how compressed that you've got here. How many less steps it's taking for you. The amount of people it takes to bring the walking time. I mean, what do you think about how much time do you think they're saving when they're just walking? The guy back there that's running that remote, he's not going to have to run up there and pull this gate shut. How many steps is that? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's probably at least 80% less steps.
Wow.
Just one guy, yeah. Oh yeah, it's tremendous amount. Yeah, and you do this a half a day and you're about wore out. And now we just do it all day long.
And you're in good shape to go.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's
I
a
got a
big
lot of
piece.
miles on my legs, so when I help, I really appreciate this more. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And these guys, they've done it so much more than I have, so they kind of got it down. How to run the gates with the remote, and that remote really a time saver. So safety, speed, everything.
Your guys on the remote back here, I can see you've got some cattle ready or held at this point here. So he's just going to come up and run this remote from this point here. How much energy, how many steps is he saving on? I mean, this guy right here before, where you had to walk up and get up there quick enough before the cattle come back at you. How many steps do you think that guy is saving? I mean, well, what's your thoughts on that?
Our crowd gate before was over there on the west alleyway. So, you know, you'd bring them in, fill up the tub, and then you'd have to walk all the way down there, which is 180 feet, then bring some more up. And like here, you know, he's got a walking distance of, you know, what, 30 feet. You know,
30 feet.
Yeah, compared, you know, bringing them in here, running a remote and going, you know, probably 30 to 35 feet.
And before it was
180 feet. So that was a big savings on that guy.
It's a huge amount.
Time is money.
Time is money. And this is the compression of your system right here. You don't have people walking back along an alley. So many of our old alleys, you know, we just had to have cattle that we just need to have cattle lined up, you know, just to always have something to keep a cattle ready for the chute. Yeah. With the turret gate right here, we don't have to have a whole lot of cattle, so we've compressed our whole system into a tighter area. I mean, you're doing a huge amount of work here in a very small location compared to what you had, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, this is a lot smoother. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just a lot smoother. It's just healthier on the cattle and healthier on the human.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming up, we'll have more on how cattle handling equipment from Mahle can make a difference on your farm or ranch. Stay with us.
Mahle Manufacturing is the industry standard in livestock handling equipment. The silencer hydraulic squeeze chute is safer for animals and the operator and is designed with special features that make the job of working livestock more efficient. Proudly made in the USA, every piece of Mahle equipment is made to order for your operation. Safer and built to last, silencer from Mahle is better by design. Find out more at MahleMFG.com.
By installing Ritchie waterers, you save water while keeping it fresh and always available to your animals. You protect the land by keeping natural water clean and soil healthy. And you conserve power because they're energy efficient. We're committed to helping you create a prosperous, sustainable, and regenerative future. Because we know, like you know, that every saved drop matters. Ritchie, fresh water for life.
Welcome back as we continue our discussion of how cattle handling equipment from Mahle is built to suit any operation. Let's send it back to John Malhagen of Mahle.
In this facility that we're looking at today, I think Gene spoke about maybe 2 days for setup. Is that correct? From start to finish?
Yeah, it went.
This whole thing you put in 2 days.
Yeah, it went real fast, you know. But you know, my men, they're good workers.
Yeah.
You show them what to do, and they go to town.
Yep.
Yeah, we ain't gonna stop and have coffee. We're just gonna get her done, and you know, and we stopped at noon, but it took a little extra time, but you have to when you work cattle. You know, when you feed cattle 7 days a week, you got to use this all the time. So you got to because we had to pull the old facility out, the old alleyway, and we took that all out.
How many days did you have in between when you took your old facility out? And this is a lot of questions people have. Is just they like you, they have to get something in there. You cannot wait. Yeah. And so how did that work out for you? I mean, how much time did you actually do this in? I think it's amazing how much time it took you to take a complete facility out and put this in. I mean, how many was it? 1 day or what was it?
We had it all out and cleaned up in 1 day, and then the new chute and the panels were here already. So we cleaned it all out, and that's when we started making some plans. You know, we got to get started, and everybody chipped in, and we went to town, and like I said, it was 2 days, and we were up and going. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. In 2 days, you got this whole hydraulic system put in.
And it isn't just us either. You know, we got electrician because our pump is up here, up out of the way. And so we had to reroute our electric lines where it was down here about 60 foot where the different chute was. So we had to move all that. And so it isn't just us putting up panels and drilling holes and welding. It was, you know, you kind of have to have everybody organized to come in line. And so he was here when we got started, and I told him what I thought. And, you know, it just, you know, everybody's got a different idea, and it come out really good. Well, we come out here, Gene did, and we looked at everything, and he drew up some blueprints. So I got enough blueprints for everybody. Me, the hired man, everybody. And I said, here, this is what we want to do. You got any better ideas? And I said, we don't have to make up our mind today, but let's figure this out, because when you put this in, we want to do it right the first time. So everybody had their own opinion. We'd come out here and everybody would look, and they'd have a little drawing on their blueprint, what we should do, or maybe this would work better and this and that. So we had a little class several times before we actually did it. And then when we actually did it, I asked Gene to come out, and then we went over it, and I said, what do you think of this? And what do you think of this? And we had different ideas, and it turned out wonderful.
Now, didn't you say you can load and work cattle how does that, tell me about that?
Yeah.
So you load and work at the same, or process at the same time?
See, before we used to load and unload cattle in the same alleyway as what we vaccinated with. And doing it this way, we created another short alleyway where we can unload and load cattle at the same time and don't bother the processing people. So it helped that too. So, you know, there was a lot of pluses when we did this. I mean, I don't know how I can put numbers together to do that, but we can do more things a lot quicker, a lot smoother now.
Right.
Before, you know, if we were working cattle and the cattle come in, we want to get them off the truck as soon as possible. So if we had cattle in the alleyway, we would have to pull them out and load the truck and start all over again. And see, that's a lot of moving cattle around, unnecessary moving the cattle around. So that was another advantage of doing this. So I just did it for a couple reasons, and here we ended up doing it for 10 better reasons. So yeah, so it's okay.
Right.
I recommend it to anybody.
Just taking care of the people that work for you too. I mean, you did a huge help for them. I mean, when these guys get done at the day, their clothes are just less dirty, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, you just look at something as simple as how much manure you've got on yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, compared to how we used to do it, we always, you know, there was always splatter coming back at you because you were always in there trying to manipulate some gait, and we were always trying to force cattle rather than letting their instincts work with them.
Right.
And letting them flow themselves. And that's why this system works so well. Is, you know, just like you were saying, these cattle will just kind of almost load themselves into your big pen. And so, yeah, it's quite a system.
You know, I don't know what I would do different, because I think we hit the nail on the head when we did this.
I know the first day that when I was here and you guys just started working cattle, how many just without knowing anything about the facility, how many cattle did you end up working the first day you had in place? If I remember right, you had worked 300 or 400 before I left, I believe.
Yeah.
And that was just that first day without even knowing how to use it yet. I was kind of impressed with how quickly you actually got onto it too.
Yeah, I think it was around 550, 575 we worked that day.
Yeah, on the first day that you used it.
Yep.
Now it's just amazing how efficient your crew has been here. We're just impressed with your whole bunch here. So that's one of the reasons why we're here, actually. So just kind of proud of watching what you guys have done.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to learn more about how Molly's wide assortment of innovative products can improve your cattle handling, visit their website, mollymfg.com. Next, we've got more on how Mhag Manufacturing's innovative equipment can help keep animals calm and people safe. Stay with us.
Handle feed, waste, and other materials on your operation with John Deere equipment. Weigh feed on the go with dynamic weighing. And move materials faster without spilling with the Level to Horizon feature on 6R tractors. Move and stack bales easily and clean up brush and debris with improved grapple work on 5 Series tractors. Get into tight spaces with skid steers and wheel loaders. And check calves, fences, and more with John Deere gators. Ask your John Deere dealer to learn more.
Cattle producers across the country work hard to care for their animals and their land. The USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service is there to help. Find out how you can work with NRCS to develop a conservation plan for your operation. Find possible funding resources for implementing conservation practices, or get free expert advice on ways to improve your farm or ranch. Visit the website nrcs.usda.gov today.
Join the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. NCBA is the oldest and largest national cattle industry organization working to defend your interests in Washington, D.C. And there are big benefits to being a member. You'll get news you can use in the National Cattlemen, email updates in the NCBA Beef Bulletin, plus big discounts only for NCBA members. Join by calling 866-233-3872 or online at ncba.org.
Welcome back as we continue our discussion on Mhag Manufacturing and their innovative cattle handling equipment. Let's check in again with John Mulhagen of Mhag.
That turret gate puts them to the outside here, and they just naturally keep continuing to turn their body, and they can come around. And the next thing they know, before they know it, they have self-loaded themselves into the chute. This here funnel naturally guides them in right into it. And they flow through there, and they don't even know that they're just on their way out. And it's a clear opening. They can see right through there. But the way that John has designed this, if you look at this natural funnel, them animals just come on the outside, and that short little panel there, very important to help bring that body out and position it to come straight into that alleyway.
That shows a lot right there, just on that flowability. And so really the animal just, it's just, when you created this flow, you started this flow here, and it doesn't matter if you have 1 or 5, if you bring them around. And so that's what I like to do. If they get somebody and they start turning their butt to the alley, just open up and just let them go around, and then they'll start running around here, and then you start shuttling right back through, and they've ended clear back over here, and then they start again, and they get back up here, and they still don't go, and they turn their butt to you, and so you just open it up and let them go back. Yeah. That's where they want to go. We'll let them go. And then all of a sudden you turn them and you try to get some volume, and this animal's coming, and you just keep the push on her, and she'll just run right on in. And that's a more stubborn animal that we're talking about. So it depends on the animal, the ability to be, and maybe the timing on where you used this thing the first time. Maybe you missed it just by half a second, and the head was over here, and she didn't see it and turned the wrong way. So it's so much on timing. So it's kind of an interesting game in itself, just to read the animal before. It's kind of like you're playing a game, just kind of like your border collie in there. You're going to have to move this way to,
exactly,
or turn it this way, or move it this way. Yeah.
And I like how you said that was a stubborn animal, and I like your illustration how that stubborn animal went into the chute, and we didn't have to get in with it. We didn't have to subject ourselves amongst that stubborn animal. We could do it from afar. We did all of that with our thumb from chute side. And that is what we're all after. I mean, we do not want to get in with them cattle anymore. Yeah. I mean, we want to be able to move them cattle with our thumb, move them cattle from afar, not pushing our predator self upon them cattle. And we need to understand and read them cattle. The turret gate is just a natural product built to handle animals better. safer, more efficiently.
We've kind of moved up to the silence here on your system, and I guess I want you to talk, if you just tell me a little bit about why you set this up, what this control piece does for you for everything that you're doing here. Just tell me about what you've done here.
Well, this is Grand Central Station, John. I am able to control the whole system from here, and not only from here, but from here, or wherever I want to go. This allows me to move with the animals, do what I want to with the animals. I can run the turret gate from right here. I can run the Ellie from right here. I can have my hand pregging a cow, and I can move that cow around if I want to, all from right here. When I have that animal caught, now if I want to come up front and I want to see what I'm doing with my hydraulic neck bars, I can move the controls up here and I can move that head, adjust it how I want to. Whereas if my controls are just up here, I would have a hard time doing that. I'd have a hard time watching what I do with my heads. For me, pivot controls are very, very important. Not only to be able to move with that animal, but I have my scale right here. I can see whatever's going on with that animal. It's always with me. I never have to look where's my scale head and where I'm at, I can see all of that. But to me, adjusting for height up and down, from here to there, even if I want to go the other side, I could, gives me more versatility and stay efficient. I mean, it saves me steps. I would be lost if I did not have these.
Every piece has a reason.
Every piece has a reason?
Yep. Every piece on these machines has a reason.
Yep.
When we return, we'll wrap up our look at how Mhag manufacturing helps producers achieve better productivity and cattle management. Stay with us.
Work livestock safer and more efficiently with Turret Gate from Mhag Manufacturing. The innovative Turret Gate technology gives you remote control power, shuttling the gate through the turret, allowing for continuous forward flow without having to push a gate back into oncoming cattle, all with a touch of a button. It's the industry standard in low-stress livestock handling. Built to last, Turret Gate from Mhag is better by design. Find out more at MhagMFG.com.
CattleCon's headed to San Antonio, February 4th through 6th, 2025, where farmers and ranchers gather to shape our industry's future. Remember, if you ain't at the table, you might just be on the menu. Check out the latest in ranching at the Texas-sized NCBA trade show. Network, learn, and grow your operation. Don't miss this chance to steer the cattle biz in San Antonio, where the Alamo spirit lives on. Visit convention.ncba.org to get registered. CattleCon 2025, where the beef industry meets.
Today, we focus on cattle handling equipment designed and built by our friends at Mhag. Here's more on how Mhag's hands-on design process helps producers achieve better productivity and cattle management.
The way we set this up, we took an older facility and we kind of adjusted some things so we could work cattle two different ways and also not take up a bunch of other space out there that could be utilized in other ways if we're not using both facilities at the same time. So that turret gate, the way it works, we can run cattle past it, but then we can close two gates to make our back gate for that turret area. If we would have tried to put in a regular push tub, it wouldn't have worked. It would have somebody would have got hurt. So it's nice having that, can control it with a remote, and it's worked well for us in that situation we have it in.
I love the turret gate for the effectiveness, the efficiency, and the safety aspect of the turret gate. I don't have to be directly behind the bull. I can use the remote, push that bull or cow up to the alleyway. Just takes some of the, especially if they're not very happy about having a hurt foot and don't necessarily want to go into the chute very well. It's nice to have that barrier between you and them. And it also has a little power. It can kind of push them in the right direction if they are being a little bit stubborn and don't want to go. So really enjoy that about the turret gate.
The turret gate, the other nice thing about it is if you've only got one or two people, that turret gate will replace one or two people. If you're up here on the chute running the chute, we got a control on there also. There's a lot of times if one of us are down here just processing a few or something, well, you open that up, they walk right in there. you shut it, they don't even know they're caught. And one guy can run this and keep 3 guys on the chute busy with no problem.
Now, if you're looking for top-of-the-line cattle handling equipment, be sure to contact the team at Mhag. They offer a wide assortment of innovative products that are designed to fit your operation. Visit mollymfg.com for all the details. Well, that wraps up this edition of NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen. Thanks so much for spending time with us. We'll see you again next week, right here on RFD TV.